Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. It is, what time is it? 6:02, 6:01, 6:02. And this is our very last Old Home Day meeting before the big event. I'm not panicking. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you all for your hard work to this point. How I'd like to run this today is I'd like to ask if anybody has any major significant concerns that they'd like to address right up front. Other than that, what I'd like to do is, hey Katie, is to run through and then kind of go day by day and think of the logistics there. And then people can ask questions as we go. Make sure we're thinking of everything, make sure that Doug and I, since we haven't coordinated this just ourselves, have hit up on all the details. How does that sound to everybody?
Great.
Awesome. All right, so let's start with if anybody has any huge pressing concerns. Fires. Metaphorical ones, not literal ones. Had enough of those. Tim, could you check behind there and see if the computer's on?
The Boots Scoot Boogie's the only people you need to talk to about fire.
Is it on this side?
There's like a computer on the, like a computer behind it.
Can you see it?
I can't see,
See the computer?
the machine should be in the
81
box
degrees,
where.
yeah. Partly cloudy.
Yeah,
Take it
I
out.
think it's top
20%
I can't see it.
rain.
It's
It's
not
not
bent by
but
a
no.
if you want.
Is it up top?
Right here.
Yeah.
Just hope they're
Oh.
right.
Yeah,
Change.
fireworks.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah,
Okay, never mind.
81's a little warm, but
All right.
If there's anything pressing beyond that.
Look at the picture.
Nope, it's not there anymore.
Tim, it's just a TV, I mean.
It's cool. Don't worry
Now
about
it's coming on.
it. Is it actually coming on now?
What's
Or
the
was-
TV? Just the TV on the computer? Or?
now it's
Or is it
No,
all
the computer runs the TV, but we'll see if it comes on. It's no big deal either way. All right, so no literal fires. So let's go ahead and get started looking at Wednesday. Wednesday we have, actually I'm going to pass these around. I definitely did not make enough for everybody. This is the list of events for the 4 days. I apologize, there is one left off here that I'll get to on Thursday.
Share with you.
And then, okay.
He gets one. No problem.
I want to share with you.
So,
I want to share with you.
I don't blame you.
do we need to separate the firefighters and former firefighters?
Share with you. I just said I want to share with Remy. I want to share with Al.
Oh, this one
This went out to the chamber today. It's probably mostly right.
Please give one to share with the town.
is probably mostly right.
For you, so.
All right. So starting off with Wednesday, senior bingo and picnic. Set up for that. This will be taking place at the Reverend Morrison Meeting House at 256 Mammoth Road under the pavilion and the tent. The tent will be set up sometime Tuesday or Wednesday before this event. Grand Rental Station will work that out with me the day before. Of note, we're using long tables for this instead of round tables this year. Gentlemen, you should appreciate that. It'll make it much easier to serve. As far as setup goes, setup will start about 2 p.m. All the food is being stored within the former Lions Hall building. The refrigerators are plugged in, they're ready to go. I picked up all the dry food today. We'll be picking up the rest of the food on Monday. Of note is that the food was all donated by Hannaford. Alona has collected over $1,000 in bingo prizes, which is absolutely bonkers, but amazing. We're going to have 6 bingo callers this year, or 5 in a backup, that you'll notice from our leadership around town. I think many of our bosses will be doing it, so please be on your best behavior.
Except for Dave.
Huh? Oh,
Does Ricky have to step in?
Why do you think he's here?
We're not making Ricky call bingo, though. All right. So, Timeless Treats will be donating the ice cream. There'll be their special $3 ice cream there as well. So we have donated food from Hannaford's and Timeless Treats. We'll call bingo, and the Lions will be serving food.
Yep.
Ben, do you need anything? How are you guys all set up?
I think we're good. We have a meeting this coming Monday. We're gonna go check everything out, probably set up and clean our grills and our little tent we put off to the side just to cover the grills. So yeah, as far as I know, we're good and just set up in the same spot we usually are.
Excellent.
Brian, the only thing too, I know Alona's not here, but like, do you guys have coolers too? I don't know where she's at with coolers.
Not much. I know it's, yeah, we used to have some coolers,
Yeah.
we thought, in the Lions Hall, and last time we were in there when we did a yard sale, they weren't around. I'm talking to him, but, yeah, she was gonna ask senior members, anyone else to beg, borrow, and steal. I know I have one I was gonna
Okay.
bring.
Cool, so that's something we'll follow up on. Phil, can they get ice from you guys?
They can.
Somebody will just have to come over and get it?
Yeah,
Okay.
just know though, if you empty it, it takes a while to refill, so, take as much as you want, but maybe a little bit before you
So
need
ice
more.
from FD, okay, perfect. And so you'll just need somebody with a truck to get coolers back and forth to get that if you want the ice from there. If you can't find somebody, let us know. Last year Justin Campo helped out and did that run for us, so. All right, one question I have is somebody who barely paid attention at that event last year, cause, Pat Pettingill, we've contracted him again to do sound for all 4 days, which is lovely. Does anybody know if he brings his own equipment or if we supply equipment? I'm pretty sure he brings his own.
I think he brings his own.
Delightful. I just want to verify that with him, but thank you. That takes that off my mind. We will be having the golf carts delivered this year on Tuesday instead of Thursday. So we will have the golf carts available to help transport people with mobility challenges both back and forth to their cars and across the street to the Common for the concert later if they so desire.
So,
Yep.
Wednesday, the concert on the Common, are we still gonna do handicap at the church?
Concert on the Common, as far as I know, we're going to run it as you guys are running Concert on the Common all year.
Okay,
Good.
great.
So however you have been doing that, we are
Yes.
going to continue to do that for that day.
Okay,
That said, if you guys need the go-karts for that night, you will have access to them for that night, at least 2 of them.
I have a logistic question then.
Absolutely.
Fuel for the golf carts, cause they're not electric.
Fuel for the golf carts, they come with enough, we can get through the entire weekend with the fuel that comes with them. Excellent question. We also will have the 2 electric golf carts that we own accessible to us too. So we have no shortage of transport options. We wanted to make sure we had enough for Alert and enough for all of us to get around this time. So thank you.
Okay, how about the,
Yep.
Battle of Bands on Thursday?
Haven't gotten there yet.
You gotta wait till.
We're still on Wednesday.
No, I'm
All right.
I'm thinking of
No,
practice.
I love it. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Excellent. All right. So any other questions on senior bingo and picnic? I think that one is pretty much in the bag. Awesome. So concerts on the Common. This group mostly does a whole lot of nothing with that additional. I know you guys do a lot with that because that's still Stephen and Julie's purview. So Arts Council will run with that. If you all haven't looked at the weather yet,
That's really good.
It's good.
it looks amazing. That's why I'm knocking on every hard surface. So hopefully it stays that way, which means that PD, you probably would rather it rain because they're anticipating that record crowd this time. If we break 1K, that'll be the highest attendance ever. So just keep that in mind if it continues to be this nice. Obviously, you guys know that, but on top of everything else. Any concerts on the Common, Timeless Treats, their own One Happy Clam will be there. They have their own sound, so we don't need to worry about that. Any questions on concerts on the Common? All right, very cool. Londonderry Police Association movie night. If it's the movie kicks off at 7:30 p.m., I believe doors quote unquote open at 6:30 p.m. You guys set up right outside in this green area.
Correct, right here.
Yeah, I watched the movie from my office last year.
That's cool.
Very cool. Are you doing touch a police car beforehand?
Yeah, we'll pull out the
Okay.
motors, everything that we use in the touch truck event we'll have here anyway.
Awesome.
So we'll just roll it out for the kids for that particular.
Very cool. And are you going to have any particular named refreshments, or just do you have anybody coming to provide them? Do you know, or?
That I don't know, that'll
Okay.
be.
The OPA usually has their
Yeah.
own table of things out that they sell.
Okay, so the LPA does it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that pretty much encompasses
And if
your
you need anything
event.
from that, we can go with Sergeant Bucher, he's the president of the OPA, we'll get you whatever.
No, I think that's pretty solid. And yeah, you guys handle parking and all that stuff for that. That's awesome. All right, very cool. Anybody have any other concerns for Wednesday night? We usually wrap Wednesday night. The movie ends up ending around 9, and then everybody kind of clears up by 9:30, and that's a wrap on Wednesday. All right, awesome. Let's move on to Thursday. I did forget one thing on here. It's there's a ice cream fundraiser at the senior center from 12:30 to 2. So if you'd like to help contribute to the seniors, $5, all you can eat ice cream. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that around the little one.
Is that on Wednesday?
That is on Thursday.
Oh, right.
Thursday from 12:30 to 2. All right, and then we move on to the 5:30 p.m. Color Run presented by Wind Waste Management, one of our premier sponsors. Doug.
Yeah, so we're pretty much set in terms of supplies for that. Everything's been ordered or is getting delivered, so plenty of color. I think we're around 60 participants signed up right now, so we anticipate that's gonna grow, because it does close 15 minutes prior. So we'll kind of see, we'll see where we're at number-wise. The big thing is volunteers. I know we've got a few people in this room willing to help, but we need some people to spray color at people with the different corners that we set up. Mike in GIS was able to put together a map too, so that'll all go out with all the other documentation as well. So, but we've got our quarter-mile course. We're ready to go at over there at LAFA, and I think, yeah, and the weather looks great, so happy.
Yeah, to let you guys know that we have, none of it will be running on roads, so we don't need to worry about any of that. Actually, did you talk to Dave about getting horses?
No, Dave, I need horses.
Oh, that's one.
Could we get,
4 legs?
Yeah, perfectly.
can we get 4?
Yes.
4 horses?
Yes.
4 four-legged horses.
Four
please.
four-legged. I mean, I really hope regardless of whether it's alive or, stationary, it has 4 legs, otherwise it's gonna fall.
Right.
You're just gonna need them for that one event, right?
Just for that hour, yep, and then they can go wherever they want after.
Bring them over and then we'll move them over to
Yep.
the Lions Hall.
It's just to block off one section of Sergeant Road while the running's going on, so.
So, and volunteers, I'll be in touch too, this week, but probably get them there around 4:30, just to set up. So it's minimal setup this year, so. But DJ's all set, course will be set, and, yeah.
We will have, 2 vendors there, Sweet Heat Cotton Candy and Squeeze the Day Lemonade. So people will be able to buy lemonade and cotton candy if they so desire. And Doug ordered a bunch of really cool little giveaways for the kids too, like sunglasses and
Ribbons, everything,
ribbons,
colorful
and, yeah,
ribbons,
so it'll be fun.
Mhm.
Any questions on the color run? Awesome, and I have all the medic stuff that you gave before, so
Yeah,
don't
so,
worry about
yeah,
that.
we'll have somebody up there with the gator, and then they'll go over to the
Oh, welcome. All right. Next after that is Battle of the Bands. I will.
Okay.
All right, you go ahead first. You go first. Go
Before I
ahead.
forget,
I love it. Fire away.
how are you gonna park the handicap for the Battle of Bands?
Has Serge reached out to you to doing any parking for that or no?
No one has mentioned it.
You guys haven't done it in the past, have you?
No.
No.
So Battle of the Bands only has 2 entrants this year. So it is going to likely be a lightly attended event. It was back and forth up through yesterday whether it was going to happen or not. So Serge is going to do it. He has one band said that they have an hour's worth of material, so he's like, great. I wouldn't necessarily worry about the parking for that. I think we're going to let it be a little bit of a free, people can park where they want. I don't anticipate a large turnout.
Okay.
I think it's going to be small enough to be manageable on Thursday night.
Yeah, are you gonna block off the Presbyterian Church?
That is up to them. If they would like to block
I
off their
agree.
own parking lot, they can. That is absolutely their prerogative, but we are not going to do it for them.
Good.
All right. Any questions on Thursday? Thursday is another light day. We anticipate Battle of the Bands runs 7 to 9, but it'll be fairly quiet. Serge handles all that himself. All right. Awesome. Let's get into the meat. We're starting to get into Friday where there's traffic and things get lit on fire. All right. So starting it off at 3 p.m., the L-Town Classic Softball Tournament. Doug.
Yep, we've got our 4 teams, our 4 rosters, so thank you for the departments that got those over to us. Town Hall got together a roster too, which is great. So we've got basically finance, IT, and recreation counselors, so we got there. But we're all set equipment-wise, we're all set school facility-wise is good to go over there, so we'll start at 3. Games will be about 5 innings, so we're allotting about an hour and 15 total to each game to keep it flowing so that we can get right into the rest of the night's events and people can disperse and do that, so. We'll be set on site with police and fire there if there was an injury or something along those lines. But no, we're smooth sailing with that. I think we're set to go. So that'll get posted too with rosters and the game schedule as well.
Please note that there's 2 police teams, Team Ammo and Team Zeus.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
They're gonna play each other first though, so.
Yeah. Yep. Of note is that,
That's a sound move on your part.
You gotta take one of you out.
I got a team full of utility players, what do you want?
We don't get to play, and you do it.
Of note, Town Hall will be closing at 3 o'clock on Friday to allow this opportunity, to allow a uniform opportunity to all employees to Town Hall. That will be announced tomorrow, that Town Hall is closing at 3 o'clock. Moving on from there, while you guys are playing softball, we'll be setting on by, me, I'll be setting up for the food trucks. Food truck for, set up for Food Truck Alley starts at 3:30. They will be setting up between 3:30 and 5:30 at the high school. Wind Waste Management has provided us with cardboard trash cans, approximately 45 of them this year. So while the trucks are coming in and setting up, I'll be putting together trash cans. They'll be spread on the field and around up top, and they're easy to swap out with can liners. They're also providing a dumpster on site. So this should solve our trash problem from last year. That is why they have a premier sponsorship. Food Truck Festival is presented by St. Mary's Bank. They are our second premier sponsor that we're talking about today. So we're very grateful to Ken and Kelsey and the whole group over there for contributing. We have 22 food trucks at this point in time, sweet, savory across the board, probably 9 different types of cuisines. We're gonna compact the food trucks together a little bit more this year, and of major note for you guys for alert, we will not be allowing cars to drive behind the school at all. So
Good.
that road will be shut down. Last year it was far too dangerous with people trying to drive and park by the bathrooms. We've talked to the school. They're going to clear out all those cars there, and we're going to put food trucks along there where there's light and it's easier for people to wait in lines.
Are we gonna put some signage at the gym area so that, all the handicap park in a given area so we can provide transportation for them?
What do we have? That's an excellent question. What do we have for handicap parking signage?
Well, the school's got two
Okay.
banners, and if need be, I can bring some.
Ones we use for election.
Ones we use for elections.
The election
Those-
ones? Okay.
Those are the ones that we set up and down at the common though.
For Saturday. This is for Friday. So if they're on site on Friday, I can just bring them to the common, and they'll be waiting there to do what we talked about the next morning, right? Does that work?
That's what I mean, yeah, so it'd be, they're kinda heavy.
They're not exactly
No, basically.
something you get thrown in the back
No,
of your
they're
car.
not, they're really not. Cause that'll all be set up and ready for Saturday morning, so that'll,
I thought we just talked about earlier today doing the setup at 6.
no, not in the morning, no, that all gets done Friday. All the handicap signs, all that stuff is
Oh,
all
okay.
set up,
I thought we-
and then roped off, and
Yep.
you can open it at 6 AM with alert, we can talk about that when we get
Okay.
there, but.
Well, let's, at the
We could
beginning,
use
We
ours
can
if
just
we.
use ours.
you have yours? All right.
We have the
Cool.
same ones we do for elections, yeah.
All right. Well, let's take stock of the election ones, and if we need to get more, we can come up with more next week. We can order some, so.
You have to order them in advance.
Yeah. Or we can, there's other organizations I'm sure we'll be able to borrow them from.
You
so.
can't order the same ones, I think they took like 6 weeks to
Yeah.
get the last.
Oh, no, I would just borrow them. I'd find other organizations to borrow from. I can usually, smile our way into some, at least a couple of signs.
Yeah, the
Dairy
Dairy
thank
Fest
you.
people might
Hmm?
have some too.
Oh, the Dairy Fest, that's an excellent point, Dairy Fest, yep.
The driveway around the back of the high school, is it gonna be accessible even though it's blocked off, or are you gonna have trucks in it?
So the trucks are gonna be in the park, that's a great question. Trucks are gonna be parked only in parking areas where there's
Okay.
parking spots right
So we'll
now.
be able to get fire trucks or
Yeah.
ambulances through there should we need to?
As long as it won't be any different than if there were every parking spot behind the school was
Yeah,
there.
that's fine, as long as the road is accessible and the gate's not locked.
The gate will not be locked. It'll be pulled shut, but it won't be
Okay.
locked. Yep, so it will be completely open. Last year alert, you had somebody helping me with the gate. If there is somebody available from 3:30 to 5:30, that would be lovely, who could kind of be at the gate and tell the food trucks where to go. I sent them all a map, but, they're gonna try and go the wrong way. So
Course.
if there is someone available, it would be awesome.
Alright, so 3:30,
To 5:30 at the high school.
Well, I'm sure we can do that.
yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much. So food trucks will be, there'll be a completely clear lane for you. There'll be no traffic, and you guys will have somewhere between 2 and 4 golf carts available to you to
Nice.
transport people, including the handicapped accessible wheelchair one.
So you do have a wheelchair?
We do have a wheelchair one. Without a wheelchair in it, it seats up to 8 people.
Oh, okay.
with a wheelchair in it. I think it's 5, but yeah.
Nice.
So our ambulance will be parked back there for
Mhm.
non-transporting patients with the exception of anything severe, cardiac arrest or any type of trauma or anything like that, and they'll transport and then another ambulance will backfill behind it. Otherwise, they'll triage the patient and call for a duty ambulance to come in and transport the person if it's
Mhm.
lesser severe.
Awesome, thank you. PD, any concerns that night? You guys mostly walked around last year handing out glow necklaces, so let's hope that's your job again this year. It's a great night for you guys. Let's talk light towers for a minute, because I just want to make sure we're all on the same page with this, where they're getting delivered, because we're getting 4 from HERC. Phil, you sent me pictures of 2 there, 2 light towers at the school.
I sent you the 2 that I've been telling you guys
Yep.
about that have been down there
Yep.
all,
Okay.
yeah. So you should have 6 in total down
We
there.
should have 6 in total. We had talked about, I don't wanna take up too much time here, but 6 in total should be sufficient to light the field,
That's more than we've
light the
had.
crosswalk.
It's more than we've had in the past,
Okay.
so.
You just need to have somebody know how to turn them on after the fireworks are over.
Exactly, and so that's the thing, is they're turning on and
Knows how
off.
to do it.
You guys know how to do that?
Yes,
Can you
Yeah, I
teach,
think
can you
we can
teach a
do-
couple more of us how to do that?
We can do that.
yeah,
You'll take, you sure?
Yeah.
Alright,
we are sure.
alright, awesome, so Alert will help
No
us too.
cost.
I got free food
So are you
vouchers for
gonna
you for
tell
that
us
night,
where
so
to
don't you
buy
worry
it?
about that.
See, yeah.
Oh, God else doesn't help himself.
Alright, awesome. Pat Pettingill is contracted, and it's been back and forth on this. I know you guys have been on the edge of your seats about this. Scott, as you know, Scott Spradling band wasn't available. The next band that John wanted, that was unfortunately not available either. But we did end up, as long as the conversation goes well, at 8:30 tonight when they're calling me, we will have East Coast Soul, who was another Concerts on the Common band that had a really huge reaction. So we will be getting them, as long as, like I said, this phone call tonight goes well. So yes band, no band, yes band, no band.
Couch.
We will have one. They're phenomenal. I want to get them for next year. They're wonderful. Unfortunately, they wanted to break after their tour, which is fine. And their touring's in Colorado.
Yeah, if they're a younger band,
Yeah.
they're gonna appeal to some of the folks in town.
But yeah, so East Coast Soul was good, and they're lively, and I think they'll be a solid there. Awesome. While we're having the food truck festival, we are also having the Lion's Den pop-up pub. That is the Sons of the Legion, American Legion Post 27, and the auxiliary are are going to be manning it on Friday night as well. So they're going to open up from 7 to 9 before the fireworks. They're going to close down before the fireworks start. Where does it stand with food for that? Were you guys going to go be there and cooking that night or not?
I didn't know it was open on Friday night, so.
Well, there you
go. We'll do it Saturday.
Excellent.
So a bunch of people are gonna drink and go to the
I
fireworks.
was just gonna say, is alcohol in
You
that?
guys might be a little bit busier.
It is. It is pub.
It's just the veterans. They're
So,
What could go wrong?
It's just the evidence.
if they have not contracted for a detail with you yet, they are responsible for having their own detail.
I don't think we've heard for either day.
I'll make sure that happens. Or I'll make sure that they know that it needs to happen if they'd like to be open.
Yeah, it's kind of contingent on an opening.
So, yeah, we needed to, because we wanted detail there. I just got their license, their liquor license emailed to me today, so that's gonna go to Jason tomorrow. And they're gonna have a band too. They're gonna have Bazooka Joe playing there.
Where is this
So,
at?
that's at the Lions Hall.
Reverend Morrison.
I'm gonna,
Dave,
For the record.
Dave, I remember a time you were at the Lions Hall and there was a
Ricky,
pub
can you
and
throw
there
something
was-
at me, please?
Remember when you tried to
alright.
do the strongman contest, Dave?
Oh.
And Pyrotechnico, 9:15 p.m. as always, fireworks show by Pyrotechnico. They won the bid this year, and they're promising a very similar package to last year, so we're thrilled to see them back again. Of note, the contract specifies they are responsible for cleaning up any unexploded materials, any shells, anything that is pyrotechnic. It specifically states they are not responsible for cleaning up any other debris. So that is something that we are going to need to think about over the course of the next few days, how we're gonna handle that, and I'll reach out to the schools and see where their expectation is. Because they do need to use the athletic fields first thing Monday. Any questions on Friday?
Do like music during the fireworks like we have years past?
We will. This was a slightly edged so this was a slightly like conversation between me and them trying to figure out who was going to do it. But I think I'm going to pull that file together and send it over to them. So, if you know, you know. I think I'm starting it with Bye Bye Bye. For anybody else who might have gone to the movies recently, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, have you talked to the school and gain access to the box of
Yes.
the track?
Yep,
Okay.
we're good for that. Yep, Patrick will be setting up in there, and
Yeah, just make sure
Yep.
you have it.
they'll be there. They'll be there. The school folks will be there, and they're also opening up the bathrooms for us as well. So there's some portable toilets there, but there's also the bathrooms that will be open.
Are they going to place the light towers for us?
Haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
We're gonna have that conversation. I need to actually talk to them tomorrow anyway to figure out where I'm putting the dumpster, because I have to let Win waste know, so.
I have a question.
Yeah,
The chemical toilets, are they gonna be down on the field or are they gonna be up?
they're where their standard spot is. So there's,
Along the walkway.
yeah, they're along the walkway. There's also bathrooms in the Gridiron Club, and then there's the bathrooms in the building themselves. So, yeah.
Well, they are gonna open the building?
Yep, they are gonna open the building for us. Yep. Am I forgetting anything?
No. In terms of the light towers, it did have some locations they were planning to drop off, if
Okay.
that's what you're asking, so.
So maybe
on either
three
end
of us
the-
can kind of.
Yeah, either end of the track.
Yeah, that's perfect. It's
Okay.
just, in past years, we've hauled them one by one from the fire station.
Yeah, so, no,
It's more reasonable to have them dropped off.
If they have
closer to the
space
station.
there, that's where they're gonna put them.
If you actually tell her where you want them to drop them. exactly
Yeah, I
tell her.
did a map
Yep.
and sent it to them, so
Yeah.
they should be set.
So we're good, all right, and then we'll get the school we'll take a look at that map, figure out where the blanks in the coverage are. And you guys are still good to bring in the extra light tower over to Food Scootin the next time?
Yeah, so our friends here at Alert are going to move the two light towers off of the common on Friday at some point, whenever they
Mhm.
can. Over to Sergeant Road to light the walkway, and
Mhm.
then where I got a map from Mike Peabody from Millennium where they want it.
In the
park
lot.
In the lot, yeah,
Perfect.
that's correct.
So,
Outstanding.
I have a question. When are the barriers going up around the common? Gents? Evie?
I'm sorry.
When are the barriers going up around the common?
Tuesday.
So, you need to make sure that they can get the light towers out of there.
We do leave openings, so that regular, where those pedestrian openings will be, those pedestrian gates, if you will, those will be there. So we won't block anything in.
Are we planning on filling those again? I'd rather not.
I'd rather not also, but
We're gonna fill the ones on Mammoth Road.
Just on Mammoth.
That's the
We can, there's a way to,
the guys can bring the tanker down. The ones on Mammoth are easy, cause the guys can bring the tanker down and fill them up as long as.
You have the stage and trailer there as well. so-
yeah, no, there's some that leak
Yeah,
bad.
are the ones-
So
Some.
last year, when
Some.
we were, in the rainy summer that we had, and then we had all of those slowly leaking
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
time, and the common really got hammered.
I would ask
You mean
you
the
to
ones with
pick
the
your,
bullet holes in them?
pick your
Yeah.
best.
Just for the record, those Lego blocks are training aids that we purchased for firearms training.
Tim, that's clear by the amount of bullet holes.
Yeah, so we set up glass houses, we set up room entries, and that's the purpose of those. We simply just bring them down because they can act as an extra barrier.
They don't hold
So
water
Phil likes to
well.
give us a little bit of that, help, but again, it's not the intended use. We're just providing.
Some duct tape, Dave.
No,
We have
I-
plans.
I struggle with the numbers,
It's
so that's why they're filling things that are leaking
Enough
faster
fingers
than
in
They're
it.
nice
they
little,
are.
these watering systems
Yeah,
too,
that's
but, put down a little water.
But,
I would suggest that you look at the ones that may be in better condition.
Yes,
Take a look at
it's
the
already
layout,
been-
talk to the chief about the layout of the, of where things will be on the common, and strategically place the ones that you're going to fill.
So that's
I
all,
think you know what I mean by that,
I
right?
do, that's all pre-planned, and that's all in our,
Okay.
the tactical operation side of things.
And,
We're obviously not gonna discuss here
Yeah.
on an open setting.
Thursday morning, they will get filled.
So,
The
I'm
ones
sorry,
they-
I'm
the ones-
sorry.
The ones they designate.
Wednesday morning, they will get filled, yes.
and then, Tim, we have plans for next year.
Yeah.
Right, we have plans for next year.
Yeah.
we're gonna figure this out. All right, so Saturday, any other questions on Friday? All right, moving on to Saturday. I do have one note on Friday. There will be setup from 12:30 to 3 on the Common. I will be there. I think Doug will be there. We'll be running people back and forth with the golf carts, helping them to their spots. They're allowed to set up from 12 to 3 on the Common on Saturday, and from 7 a.m. to 8:30 on the Common. I'm sorry,
On Friday.
12:30 to 3 on Friday, 7 to 8:30 on Saturday. I am insisting that everything large that requires a car to get it to the Common must be on site by 8:30 on Saturday. They are welcome to set up on Friday night, but they will have to understand that there will be no assistance for them Friday night, and they will not be allowed to drive on the Common, which will be prevented by those large barriers movable.
What time on Friday for the setup on the Common?
12:30 to 3. Sometime in the next few days, Phil, could we also get the bunting on the Common before Wednesday?
If you can get me the bunting,
Katie, bunting, got it.
you get us the bunting and we will put it up.
I will figure out where the bunting is.
I think Dave needs to buy a cherry picker.
I think that's a later conversation.
First, just for your information, Drew and I will be setting up the public address system.
Yes, I do know that, thank you, because
Okay.
the Lees are in the parade, so you and Drew, and I'm grateful for
Yeah.
that, for you to do that. Cameron will be handling the parade stage, he will be in charge of the parade stage this year. Well, Doug and I will likely, once setup is done, after Mandy gets started, Doug and I will go up to the parade. So Mandy, 8:30, baby contest starts.
8:30, yep.
The road will still be open at that point,
Okay.
as will the parking lot, the small parking lot right there. As far as where people can park, anywhere that they would normally park in past years, we're not gonna publish the Presbyterian Church as a lot.
I'm sorry,
Question?
I gotta
Yeah.
alter that. We are gonna have trucks parking by 9, so they can't park at the orchard where they may normally.
Oh, yes, yeah, sorry, the orchard, yeah,
That will have trucks
Yeah.
again at about 9.
so,
The parking
I
lot
gave everybody
adjacent
a
to- The
list.
parking lot adjacent to there, if the Wildcats are set up over in that area, you won't be able to get any
Yeah.
vehicles in there.
yeah, the Wildcats were a little later setting up last year, so,
I'm just,
Yeah.
that,
Yep.
so the problem with that area is
Yeah.
that area needs to be kept clear for emergency vehicles.
Yep.
People can't be parking in there, and we run into this every year, they come, and then they don't come back and get their cars. Oh, I'm just gonna be a minute.
Yeah.
And then we can't get emergency vehicles in.
so, I would encourage them to park in the normal places where people park, and if they need mobility assistance, we will work with that with the golf carts.
Okay.
The parking map will go out with the booth map, and,
Okay, and I gave people options of where to park already. People are
okay.
entering the contest.
One group that does struggle around that time frame are the American Legion band guys when they're coming in.
I'll take care of them, I'll be down there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Because they have,
Those guys are an exception.
Yeah.
That's another reason why it needs to be kept clear, is that most of them are handicapped.
So,
thank you, John.
so they will start. I've asked Serge for a singer for the national anthem, so he will provide the person and their name. Alright, and so after your baby contest, we will transport the Miss Splendor and Miss Teen down.
Yes. Did you say set up at the Common has to be done by 8:30?
Yes.
For everybody else?
Yep.
And the trucks are coming at the orchard by 9? I just wanna make.
Some
sure
of them
that-
are arriving by
Because in the
9.
past, there's been a lot of distraction while the
No,
cars
where
are on
I'm-
and
I'm-
loud and.
Nope, they are, the trucks are going to Orchard Christian, so far
Okay.
away, not a big deal at all.
Okay.
And then I did say that no more large things brought on, if it's not there by 8:30, son, like, you won't be able to park and unload after that point. So they will have to carry it from wherever else they are parked at that point. So they have basically 16-ish hours to get their stuff there, and if they can't get it by there, then they're gonna have to figure out a way to carry it. And certainly we'll help with that if we need to, but, Again, I would like your contest to be uninterrupted this time, so. Parade staging starts as early as 7:15 a.m. and I'm gonna turn this over to Steve now for updates on this.
Yes, 7:15 we get our marshals in and just kind of setting up the area. Going to be a little different this year. We're going to be in 4 locations. We're going to be at the Laffa Field setting up. Going to be at Londonderry Middle School, Peabody's, and Londonderry High School. Laffa will be smaller groups, individuals. We're keeping away from the groups that have drop-offs, so that anybody going into Laffa basically is going to stay there for the day after 8:15 in the morning when we start lining up. There's the way I've got it set up now. There's only going to be 30 groups up there. It's going to have at least 100 parking available for anybody that happens to come in with someone else. They'll have a place to park. I'd like to use the Legion as a drop-off area for that. You think that can happen? No?
They're gonna be running back and forth, doing their thing at the Lions Hall.
It's gonna be
All I'm thinking is someone's going to come in and say, well, I didn't know.
Oh, so you're saying close the road, just as a turnaround for there.
So
There you go,
instead
okay.
of saying, well, I want to drop people off, we'll come here and drop off and then turn around. and go
As you were
back
saying,
out.
for when people who ignore the enter only, no exit,
There you
come in.
go.
Okay, yeah, I'll ask that.
So Jason and I ran into this last year and everything, and we wound up having to shut the road. If you let the people down the road, they're gonna do whatever they want. If you let them go as far as the Legion, they're gonna go where they wanna go. I mean, and we wound up closing the road last year.
So we've,
I planned on
Drop
being
them off
at
at the
that
fire
point.
station and they can walk, it's only another 50 feet.
but,
There's small kids depending.
small kids aren't going back there.
Okay.
Yeah, no, there's no drop off at Laffa. I cannot stress that enough. If you drive into Laffa, your car is staying there until the parade is over.
Yeah.
So that is hard and fast at Laffa. It's gonna be in only until the parade is over.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it was such a disaster last year that if you let anybody down that road, I think you're begging for a problem.
So maybe we just do the turnaround at the back of Central Fire instead.
Okay.
Instead of the Legion, so we'll do that. If,
Yeah, there's going to be,
fire trucks lined up on that road, and it gets real tight when you line fire trucks up on that road.
I thought fire trucks were lining up on Sergeant.
They are lining up on
Yeah.
Sergeant,
That is-
but we're blocking the end of the driveway off for politicians. So turning around right there gets tricky.
That's what I'm trying to say, if you go down that road, you can't come out and you can't turn
Okay.
around.
PD, can we get your light board there that says entry only for that? Or are you using it someplace else that morning?
We could, right now it's announcing the potential road closures that we're gonna have, it's just alerting people of that, cause that's something we face every year.
Mhm.
So, one day a year we close these roads and people get upset with us, but
So you
we
can
could,
ask, you
we
can
could
ask
attempt to move
Continental
that day.
for a board.
Okay.
If you they're our sponsor, contact Continental, ask them for a
Alright.
board.
Cool.
Well,
And
we
they'll-
have,
and
we
they'll
have one,
deliver.
but we have the real giant ones.
Well, good.
It's like ours. It's like ours, right?
Well, it's big.
I mean, anybody who's handicapped or anything, hey, we'll accommodate whoever we need to accommodate,
Bigger
absolutely.
the better, then
Yeah.
people can see.
And as long as there's no little kids going down there, that makes it a lot easier.
Yeah,
But
there's
it became a real, when we had the governor and we had candidates, it became very difficult last year once people entered that road, because there was just no way out.
Yeah, no, so nobody
Yeah, I
is.
was there, it was not pretty.
So nobody, if you drive in there, the idea is that if you drive into the Laffa Fields, you are parking there, end of story. Drop off is at LMS only.
And the other thing you have to consider here is you have the rest of the parade at different places.
Right.
Last year was literally
Yeah.
one place,
Involved,
so
yeah.
it doesn't.
yes, and like I said, we had
There and
56 units up there last year. We're going to have 30 this year. And we changed the units up there to be individuals. So they should be destination only. They're going to drive in, they're going to be in the float. If they have one more vehicle, there'll be plenty of room up there for them to park and stay. And we'll emphasize that with anybody who comes in the doors there. As far as,
I would suggest you do what Millennium Running does when they're up there and everything, is they designate somebody up there and they tell them, you're not leaving.
right,
And they tell them where to park.
Yeah.
And they tell them they're not leaving. That's
Yeah.
what Millennium Running does.
yeah, I have to have people up there anyway so that they get in the right location, so they'll instruct accordingly. As far as Londonderry Middle School goes, the way I've divided it up, if you look at the front parking lot, the first set of parking areas will allow big trucks in one, and then the other side of that I'm gonna have just drop-off only. So that first area will be drop-off, and then there's basically actually four lanes of parking. That parking will be for everybody, participants only for that area. So, and what we've staged up there is all the politicians, all the major groups that are say they're gonna bring 25 people and walkers, so they can very easily come up, drop off. If they wanna park there, park. If they wanna move on, they'll be able to move on. And we're gonna kinda direct them out of town at that point. So they're figuring they're dropping off, they can get out of town. Peabody is pretty simple. They've allowed us to go there, and we're kinda putting floats at
Large
that
motor,
point.
yeah.
No kids, so we won't need a.
No portable toilets.
No portable toilet.
That was the important part.
Londonderry High School is where we're gonna put the bands, right on the front lawn. That worked out well last year. And the fire station, basically the dignitaries will be there. You're gonna park your trucks,
We're gonna park the trucks on Sergeant Road, like
Okay.
like we've done every year but last year.
right,
So we'll park them on Sergeant Road, and we'll block the end of the driveway off for dignitaries.
good, okay,
And our trucks will sit out on the front apron, cause they pull off the front apron of the fire station at the end of the parade anyways.
mhm,
And we will do our best to corral politicians from walking all over the place, but I
Right.
can't guarantee you anything.
right, yeah.
Last year, we tried, but.
Yeah, I got a meeting to go to.
All right,
Okay,
thanks,
all right.
Jeremy.
You're very welcome.
All right,
Phil, do you anticipate a lot of vehicles from other,
Probably, I always say like 4 or 5 and then we get like 10, but right
Right.
now I'm looking probably 4 or 5 other departments, and then we'll have both ladder trucks, an engine, possibly the rescue,
Yeah.
but at least 3 of our trucks.
okay?
I told him
I'll
we need
tou-
at
touch
least
base with you next
3 trucks worth of volume.
I remember one year we had to stop the parade because the trucks had to go.
Yeah,
But the ambulances will stay.
okay. We're gonna need, the middle school open as far as bathrooms, yeah, and the high school, yeah. That's all I have. If anybody wants to see copy of the maps of how the parking can be set up, I don't know if you'd want a copy of it. Figured you might. John, you want a copy? Okay, pass it.
Now, I'll reach out to Serge and find out who the national handling person is so that I know where to go.
Just take a look.
Yeah. Any questions?
So do we want a message board from us?
I would love a message board that says entry only, yes.
Just entry only.
Or
I think it
somebody
should
at better
say
pricing.
something,
That's,
excuse me, I think it should say something, and I'll figure, I can work with you later
Awesome.
offline.
Yeah.
alright, just,
But
yeah.
something indicating worse,
Once you get into, you can't come out.
something like that, but,
No exit.
yeah,
Alright, so we'll get that in place Friday.
No outlet, no exit, something, yeah.
yeah.
Let's be
Awesome.
Friday.
The last comment I'll make is, this is a very large parade. This is larger than any other parade that you've had in the last few years. I mean, I've been doing it for 4 years. When we started, back then, we had about 56. We're well approaching more than 77. We have an awful lot of political candidates, and I won't express my feelings on that, but we have too many. We have too many people in the parade, really, for the size of where we have to set up. But that's a problem for next year.
I don't know why I'm singing here. That's because I was happy about the parade. So I was at Merrimack's parade,
Yeah,
and it was, the level of political candidates was overwhelming.
yeah,
And they were all at the end of the parade.
yeah.
You're gonna see a very
You're
similar
gonna see
thing
a
here.
very similar
So-
thing,
Yes.
yeah.
So if they say anything to you, it's exactly what Merrimack did.
When you say dignitaries, do you mean political candidates, or are you gonna have them with their campaign?
They're with their campaigns,
People
you're
like
gonna
the-
have the more, well,
Boston
here,
Post, Boston Post, Volunteer of the Year, Citizen of the
Thank you.
Year,
Yeah.
Council, School Board, the actual.
if you want a
local
copy of the
business.
lineup, but it's not for publication, this will
Not
change,
publication.
yeah.
You
We
get
do
that?
have a lot of drop-offs.
Right.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
It'll be,
Yeah.
but we had to move you up in the parade to get you up front,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
We'll talk, Dan, we'll talk about that offline.
yeah.
Okay.
There may be, we may have a special circumstance for you, because we need you at the beginning, but you're gonna have some drop-offs, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely aware of that one.
Alright.
Alright, so the parade, normal route. You saw the police sent out their road closure map, the preliminary one, the, parking map will go out shortly. Any questions on the parade?
Just one for the PD, with the closing of the roads on Pillsbury, we're not doing the dump trucks thing this year, right?
No, if we can have a fire truck that's just right by the Methodist church across there, and then we'll have a van further down at the intersection.
I will, get back to you on that, 'cause that depends on if we have a fire truck that's available.
Alright.
To answer your question, no.
Good. Question for you two, the motorcycles. Do you want them to stage behind the fire station, or are you guys gonna have them staged someplace else?
Well, they're gonna be sweeping the route,
Yeah.
and they're gonna be pretty mobile.
Save them too?
Yeah, they'll likely be with our guys at the PD,
Okay.
and then they'll just proceed north to hit South for the clearance. But you don't have to worry about them.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, I'm sure we'll have more questions come up on this over the weekend. Actually, I have 2 more people I have to give you.
I do have
So yeah, go ahead.
just information, Dave, is there, why do you have a preference, no dump trucks?
Well, we're very short-handed,
Understood.
with staff.
Okay.
We're just, I'm gone,
Yep, no, we're
great
good.
positions,
Thank you.
we got a funeral to do actually that day, believe it or
Makes
not.
Yeah,
No, thank you.
Yeah. And just to let you all know that once the west side of Pillsbury closes for the parade, it will be closed until 4 p.m. Correct? So we're keeping Pillsbury, the Mammoth to Moose Hill section of Pillsbury, closed for the duration of the parade, and that is for safety reasons. People will be able to park at Moose Hill because Kaylee has so graciously moved Touch's truck to Orchard Christian this year. So it's all a little bit more condensed. It's nice and tight in there, so it will be better there.
And you won't see any barriers on that side either, cause there's no need with
Mhm.
no vehicles going back and
Yep.
forth, so.
Do we have the train between,
Do we have a what? We do have a train. The train is going to run down the street back and forth, and there's also going to be the train in the forest again. So we got the. Cannot do without the train. It is one of the most popular things that day. It's awesome, actually. I kind of love it.
Do you happen to know if they're going through the touch truck, parking lot, or if they are?
I think they're going to go through the Historical Society parking lot right next to Touch a Truck.
Okay,
So that's where they're going to loop through the Historical Society and then go down to parking and then go back up.
like a stop by the stop sign or something, is that what they imagine?
Yep.
I like to pick up in that area.
Sorry, I can't hear you. Guys?
well, last year was the first year we had that train, right? The one that went, we've had the one in the forest, but last year was the first one.
Yeah, so I think this might be yeah, I'm not sure if that's the second or third year, but last year we got them to pivot and pull into the Historical Society, and so we're gonna do that again. I think we'll do the stop right there, and so they can go to Historical Society and you, both of them. Historical Society isn't here to talk about theirs. Their booths actually open at 9. With the encampment, they have a cannon that goes off every hour on the hour. It's fantastic. All right. And then the next thing to open at 11 a.m. is the Touch a Truck. Kaylee, take it away.
We have had some last minute changes, between either, cancellations or alterations for trucks, so we're still open to, anybody, if anybody knows any trucks that, are cool, the kids might be interested in, where kids will not break them. We are open to having them contacting me, by email, by phone, contacting anybody. I'm open to, more trucks. I'm working on the map, knowing the train stop is gonna be near there, I'll add that to the map. I had a question on trash, are we, receiving any of those trash barrels?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. You will receive trash barrels and portable toilets.
Cool, the location for the toilets, do we,
You and I can touch base on that, and you can tell me where you want them.
okay,
Yep. I can drop them wherever you want them in there.
awesome, thank you. I was going to, invite any interested pups down, but, I know that the Historical Society, they are having, firearm demonstrations between the cannons and, Revolutionary, so I'm not sure what the, dogs would be comfortable with, of course, so, we'd be open to having them down there, but of course, no pressure on them.
So the Comfort Dog Rio, he's scheduled to be on the Common, and then one of the canines is actually, he's an apprehension dog, but he's also EOD, so he'll be actively working, doing different sweeps. And I can check with the other dog, the other apprehension patrol dog is fine. Both patrol dogs are obviously given our training, are used to firearms, so it's not an issue.
That's about it. We've got, the basketball hoop down there.
I got basketballs for you.
Awesome. We have, I'm gonna mark up some space so that they have extra room. We'll have the ice cream truck down there, and, we'll see what else we can come up with. We'll have a guessing jar, some games, set up, and, the orchard will have Orchard Kids, open as well, so they'll have tours available. So it should be a really good day.
Awesome.
Keely, we're down to one truck, I got your email
Yes.
this evening, but we're down to one, so
That's
we'll take up a
also
little
got
less
one
room.
truck
Okay.
for
Okay.
DPW.
That's part of the last minute changes that, you know, I had like so many spaces, and now
Yeah.
they all seem to be condensing, which is great.
Good.
Except that I need to fill that space now, so I'm reaching the web out, for anybody.
Do you have a list that you could give me after the trucks? Maybe I can help bring some more in.
Yes,
Let's
with
talk.
so many changes, everyone's like, well, I'll let you know what kind. So I'm a little limited on,
That's fair enough.
on
If
that.
you need any help, just let me know.
Okay,
Thank you.
All right.
No, cause everything is going on so much for the day, I didn't wanna pressure you guys.
Yeah, I'll talk to you.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Kaylee, anything else you need from us?
I think that's it.
Excellent. Thank you very much for all of your work on this. Lions Den on Saturday. Talk to us about what you got going on there.
Just Lions, we just have our normal, you know, sausage tent, sausage burgers, dogs. So, yeah, that's kind of our plan. Hopefully we'll have an info booth on the common as well, kind of recruit membership. I actually need,
Same spot.
hands, really. Anyone wants to come grill some sausages with us, come on down. So, yeah, our membership is, you know, aging, frankly, so we could use some help. But yeah, that's all I've got.
All right, awesome.
Brian, talk to Pete, I'm sure post 27.
Yes, we're hoping, I know the
The Suns
guys
will help.
will be down there anyways, so they might send a couple our way as,
Yep. So the Lions Club, we are grateful to them. They are our third premier sponsor this year, so thank you very much. I'm excited for you to see the t-shirts with your logo on the back of them.
very cool.
So we, in addition to having the Lions over there cooking, Friendly Reds is going to have pizza over there, so there's a couple of options for food. Tibbs Tabs is going to have a tap truck over there, and I'm not saying that again because I'm never getting it right again. There will be live music over there. There's going to be 2 bands that are performing over the course of the day, and it's going to be under the tent in the pavilion in that area. We also have enough space over there. Dave and I walked through and figured out where we're going to have some booths over there as well, to kind of create a path back to you guys. So people will see their way back, and strategically for that reason, the Kona Ice truck will be on that side of the street. And the bubble tea. So the bubble tea and Kona Ice will be on your side of the street, which are not competitors, but attract people over there. So, all right. The Rotary will be running the Strongman contest this year. I've rented 2 high strikers for them. They're going to be running that. It's going to be their gig, their fundraiser. There's a 10-foot one for kids and a 17-foot one for anybody who wants to try that. So.
You try the kid one, Dave.
I was gonna say, I'd throw you out so that you could win this
I'm
time.
never gonna live this thing down.
You're never ever living this thing
What's
down.
better is that an outsider came in and just wrecked everybody and walked away, so.
Yeah. Dave's not going to be here, so I thought it'd be safe this year to try this again.
We won't have to have an ambulance over there this year.
Yep.
We will
Yeah, we still need an ambulance over there. So there's also Kids Zone Carnival area. We did rent the games again. I was really on the fence about that, but Dave convinced me. So anybody who sees that invoice come in, blame Dave. No, but seriously, they provide the games and the prizes. This year we're really excited. We got a premium inflatable basketball hoop as part of it, so that it's not a bouncy house because we can't have bouncy houses due to Primex, but it will let you shoot hoops and people can compete with the games. LAFA will be taking that on this year. So LAFA will be managing it. There will be a donation to LAFA, and I think they haven't quite figured out how they're going to do it yet. They're going to let us know at the beginning of the week. But the idea being that they'll take a donation, play some games, get a prize. It'll be great. The train will also be going through the forest, and I have a couple of booths that I think I'm going to put over there that are very related to children. At the entrance to Kids Zone, I'm going to have a booth put Crossroads Animal Hospital, which is running a stuffy clinic. So I'm going to publicize that. So they're doing a stuffy clinic. They stole Doug's idea from no, I'm just kidding, from the fall. So we're putting very kind of youth-oriented groups in there, making it really fun and family-friendly. Police and fire, just so you know, I talked to Leo Martin. He knows he can't leave his truck in that this year, so he'll be moving it to vendor parking after he unloads. He will be meeting me there at the late hour of 6:30 in the morning to take care of that on Saturday. Artist Alley Craft Fair, we actually have a really cute assortment this year and really fun. For anybody who cares, the tie-dye is back, so make a tie-dye. We also have a couple of different sand art, a couple of different face painting. There's tons of stuff for kids that way. And the booths run from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Once again, I'm placing booths on both sides of the streets. The booth map will come out Monday afternoon after Dave and I, Mark and Ricky, after Dave and Ricky mark the common and I point. Let's be clear about who's doing what in this. I don't want to make it sound like I'm doing physical labor. I don't want to set a precedent. But after we fully mark out the common, the booth map will come out, and at that point there will be no changes, alterations for any way, shape, or form. So any questions on the booths on the common? We have more this year than we've ever had before, so I'm pretty excited about it. Some really great local businesses, some really phenomenal organizations. The Grange has this raffle for this gorgeous quilt that's like $5 a ticket that I think is going to be incredibly popular. The Master Plan Steering Committee has a booth on the common this year where they'll be able to talk about the master plan and get people involved and invested in that. That's going next to the library. It's going to be a great setup. So,
Can we get a list of the booths? Is it possible to get it before 2 o'clock tomorrow?
maybe.
The council has a non-meeting, it would be helpful if we had it with legal.
I will do my best, but I cannot 100% promise it.
Whatever you have completed by 2 o'clock, if we could have that for our non-meeting, that would be helpful.
I will try. All right, any other questions? All right, cool. Sons of the American Revolution are doing a grave dedication at 4:30 p.m. The bandstand! Oh my God, the bandstand!
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Dan.
You said.
No, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, Dan Gore, Ovation Theater, he's in charge of the bandstand, and I've scheduled every meeting for when he has had a show.
During one of our shows.
So
Every single one.
We'll have the nice buntings hung by the fire department.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a circle.
So yeah, we have the American Legion Band going on as normal as soon as the fire trucks go by, and then they'll get off and we'll clean all their spit off the stage. They dump from their valves. And then yeah, we've got a full slate of performances from our groups and from a few other groups in town in the area throughout the day. And is Sunnycrest doing the apple pie eating?
They are going to do the pie eating contest, yep.
Okay.
That was just confirmed, so.
Is somebody...
I'll get
we
you.
usually just clear the stage and okay. So for 3:30?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so we've got things booked all the way up until 3:30.
Yep, at 3:30 we'll do the pie eating, and that closes everything down.
Yep.
Very important question. Are the 6 queens performing?
Yes, they are.
Yes! Sorry. I really love that musical. I'm very excited about this.
Yes, they'll be up early because they can't stick around all day. So.
Fair. All right, awesome. So thank you again for handling that. You have Patrick doing the sound, and he's doing sound with somebody else this year. So it's a he's got 2 people this year.
Yeah, and he's great. We've worked with him before, and he's already connected with all the groups that are performing to get their music and everything.
He's a delight. He is awesome. All right. So after the booths close down at 4:30, we have the Valley Cemetery grave dedication that's being run by the Sons of the American Revolution. Aside from the wonderful traffic management provided by our PD, and our invitation to show up, and the wonderful, calling out Dave and his guys on this one. The work they have done on that cemetery is exquisite and amazing. If you haven't driven by it, drive by it, look at it. It's awesome.
Dave,
looks.
you want to make sure that Pennachuck doesn't have a water leak
The
in front
parking
of it.
lot, the
Just-
parking lot looked great until Pennachuck
Yeah, just
played over there.
Are you sure you guys didn't cause the leak?
We definitely did not.
Just make sure they don't tell you it's
Because
fixed,
I
and
figured
an hour
maybe
later
you were
it's
practicing
leaking,
for the strongman over there, you know.
Dave's new event is the pie eating contest, so
Just one pie?
Strong woman.
Yes.
It's not easy, I've tried it.
And after that, there is the Enterprise Bank Boot Scoot and Boogie 5K and Brewfest run by Millennium Running, and at that point, my responsibility is done and I'm putting a beer in my hand.
Put one in each hand.
Maybe. I have friends who are pouring down there, so no, but in all seriousness, like, that's a great way to close it out. And then Sunday we all rest, and then we deal with the debrief afterwards. I will be scheduling a formal debrief meeting this year. We did not have one last year. I will be doing that this year. I very much would like to get those notes because honestly, part of me wants to start signing people up for next year, starting in November, so that we get it nice early. So we had a late start this year, and so it was a big transition year. So I'm actually pleased with the extent to which it's come together. So now that we've gone through everything, does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the grand marshal thing, I'm texting with them now.
Awesome, very cool. Just let me know when you do, and then we'll pivot if we have to.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And
Kristen?
Not me.
Oh no, wait, Dan, then David.
The person who's selected
15.
has a problem with a IT go live thing.
Chairs on the bandstand
I'm gonna
area,
reach out to
common
the
area.
school,
Those
Dave and I
things
touched
go
base on that
almost
today, the
any
school
way
normally
anytime.
does it, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think because they use them for the baby contest too,
Yep,
right?
so we're gonna get them, I just need to reach
Tables.
out to have them bring them over, chairs, tables, everything you need, yep.
Yeah, so for the chairs, like, as long as there's at least like 30, because the band uses like 25 of them, but if there's more, then,
Yeah, I think they usually bring over one full skid has like 75 chairs on
Okay,
it, and that's usually what we have out there, plus we have the 4 picnic tables, and
Yeah.
we set those up on the lawn.
cool.
I was fairly confident that we set them up on the stage for the Legion and the lawn, cause you use the front of the stage, right?
No chairs on the stage during the contest,
During the
we
contest,
help
okay.
put them up afterwards.
You put them up after,
We
okay, cool.
help with that, but
Yeah.
usually there's, I don't know how many.
I'll be there and
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome.
I'm sorry, I should have thought of this. Every year, what happens in front of the stage is the sun shifts and then everyone shifts one way. Last year, we talked about a tent. It's way too late for that now, but we just probably need to make a note of that
For
in the
next year?
future.
Sure.
Set, so I, because I may not remember it
yeah, that's a good
But-
point.
I'm writing it down, but more important, Doug's writing it down and he doesn't.
remember
forget
again, or is
it.
it
Yeah,
Okay.
last year,
That-
we talked about it last year, and we just never followed up.
It was also a
You
little
gotta
swampy
take the
last year
chances
just
when
because
you
of
Yeah.
crazy weather we had.
Yeah, and so here's hoping that if the weather stays the way it is, we're looking at absolute close to perfection, so,
Yeah, it should be dry.
which is, just means I'm gonna get a really bad sunburn, but it's okay. Anybody have any questions or anything along those lines at all? I cannot thank all of you enough for all of this. If it wasn't for the people in this room, we wouldn't have this day. So I cannot thank each and every one of you for the time, the energy, the commitment you put into this. You are all a dream to work with, and it's been amazing. So thank you. You all have if you don't have my cell phone number, reach out to me for it. Please don't hesitate. But yeah, so let me know if you have anything. Doug, do you have anything to add that I forgot?
Nope.
All right, on that note, 5 minutes over where I said I was gonna be. All right, thank you all. I look forward to talking to you next week and seeing you all out there.